Have you ever wondered what's really going on behind those perfect Hollywood smiles? Well, today we're diving headfirst into the super shadowy world of blind items. You know, where the biggest scandals are whispered, not shouted?
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if the juiciest, most shocking stories are right there in front of us, just kind of disguised in these anonymous tips and wild online speculation, basically waiting for someone like you or me to connect the dots?
And that's the whole game of a blind item. It's an anonymous tip, right? It gives you just enough detail for all the internet detectives out there to start guessing which A-lister is at the center of all the drama. It's a massive, crazy game of clues, and honestly, we're about to play.
All right, first up, let's wade into the very murky waters of celebrity romance. Because in Hollywood, it is almost impossible to tell where a real, genuine relationship ends and a really brilliant marketing strategy begins.
Okay, so let's take a look at Dua Lipa. On one side, you've got the picture-perfect romance, right? Gushing interviews, all smiles. But then, you look at the blind items, and they're telling a completely different story. A story of cheating, and a relationship that's really just a PR stunt for her new album and tour. And get this, look at how specific these rumors get. This quote from a blind item basically says the relationship has a built-in expiration date, one that's timed perfectly with her professional schedule. It's a pretty cynical way to look at it for sure, but it fuels so much speculation about how manufactured these Hollywood relationships can be.
And hey, they are not the only ones. The relationship between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet is completely under the microscope. People are asking, could a pregnancy be a strategic move for his Oscar campaign? Is it true he's still in touch with his first love, Lourdes Leon? I mean, these are the questions that keep the rumor mill churning.
But it's not just about the personal lives, you know? Sometimes a celebrity's career decision is so controversial, it just creates this firestorm of public backlash that can literally follow them for years.
A perfect, and I mean perfect, example of this is Scarlett Johansson's continued and very public support for director Woody Allen. It's a move that has stuck with her for years, and it still sparks so much debate.
Now, to really get the weight of her support, you have to look at this timeline. The incredibly serious allegations from his adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow, they first came out way back in 1992. For decades, Allen has denied them, and Farrow has stood by her story. Then, boom, in 2019, Johansson steps right into the middle of it all.
And she really did not mince words. This quote right here, this is the moment she drew her line in the sand. By saying she believes him and would work with him anytime, she took this incredibly definitive stance that, for a lot of people, still defines her public image and raises some serious questions.
So, shifting from a controversial choice to a career crossroads, we've got Ariana Grande. Lately, the rumors have just been swirling that she desperately wants to get out of her upcoming tour, which you can imagine puts her in an incredibly tough spot.
Okay, so look at this. On one side, you have this immense external pressure from her label, from fans who've already bought tickets, and some of them have sent death threats in the past over a single canceled flight. But on the other side, there's the internal pressure of a young woman who's just trying to heal her relationship with music while she's under this constant, intense scrutiny over her body. It is a total no-win situation.
But you know, some celebrity stories take an even darker, more tragic turn. One of the most shocking involves Katy Perry and her years-long legal battle to buy a former convent in Los Angeles, a battle that would end in absolute heartbreak. And this timeline, it just shows you how intense this whole thing got. Perry makes her multi-million-dollar offer, but the nuns who lived there for decades fought back, trying to sell it to someone else. The whole thing goes to court, and then, in this truly horrifying moment, one of the elderly nuns collapsed and died during a court hearing related to the case. It's just a grim reminder of the real human cost of these high-stakes battles. So all of this brings us to our final section, the constant, high-stakes battle for public image. When a really damaging accusation comes out, how a celebrity responds can literally define their entire career.
So recently, the rapper Saweetie found herself tangled up in these yachting rumors, which is basically a term for celebrities allegedly escorting for money. And the accusations were blunt, they were public, with fellow rapper Sukihana calling her out by name.
But Saweetie's response? It was immediate and it was forceful. She released a statement calling the claims false, defamatory, and a direct attempt to just ruin her reputation. It was a super clear and powerful denial.
And what happened next was actually pretty significant. Major players in the music industry, we're talking Cardi B, Missy Elliott, Megan Thee Stallion, they all publicly came to her defense, pretty much saying it was all just baseless jealousy. In an industry where women are so often pitted against each other, this was a really powerful show of solidarity.
Okay, finally, let's talk about Britney Spears. She might be free from her conservatorship, but there's this really worrying pattern that's emerged, and it's raising a lot of questions about whether she's truly in control of her own voice and her own story.
So the crucial thing to see is this pattern right here. For huge releases like her new music and her super anticipated memoir, she has been completely absent from any promotional interviews. An inside source even claimed that her team avoids live interviews not to protect Britney, but to protect somebody else. It's this whole mystery that just raises some really serious questions about who's actually pulling the strings.
Which leaves us with this final question. In this whole complicated ecosystem of rumors, denials, and perfectly crafted images, who is ultimately in control? Is it the celebrities? Is it the media that reports on them? Or is it us, the audience that just consumes it all? The next time you read a blind item, just think about the power that you hold. Thanks for joining me.